Hello guys, I'm Spicy Bill. Welcome back to another episode of Gunpla review. Today we'll be looking at more high-grade Universal Centric kit. I think this is pretty obvious at this point. Today we'll be focusing on the kits from 0083 Stardust Memories. So, as you guys already seen in my previous videos, I already reviewed the Drasse right here, and I also reviewed the Gundam GPO 2 Fasalis. So today we'll be looking at this one right here. This is technically, originally, it was the Gundam GPO 4 Gerbera. Unfortunately, the Federation decided, the GPO 3 or the GPO 2 was pretty much good enough, so they didn't want to pay for another Gundam. They didn't want to pay Anaheim Electronics for another Gundam. So Anaheim Electronics basically redeveloped the Gundam into a monoeye and then sold it to the Federation's rival, Zeon, the Zeon's Delaz fleet. And yeah, this is, so this thing is originally a Gundam. Got a stolen Gundam here, and then we got something that was originally a Gundam that got developed into a monoeye. In fact, if you buy the Gundam fixed figure of the Gundam GPO 4 Gerbera, you have the parts to transform it into the this one right here, the Gerbera Tetra. So let's go ahead and take a look at this suit right here. This is this eventually became the lead mobile suit for the Delaz fleet after the destruction of the GPO-2. This unit was given to Sima Gerahu, who, is one of their commanders, I guess. She's that crazy lady. Yeah, I mean, she just looks crazy. I mean, not crazy like Charles Soon. This lady is literally just wacko. So anyway, unfortunately, the Gerbera met a very disturbing demise. It was rammed by the Dendrobium, the GPO-3 Dendrobium, like right in the cockpit area, and then blown into pieces. Like, yeah, it was very disturbing. But either way, I was very sad to see such an awesome mobile suit get destroyed. This thing is designed for super high mobility. So you see these ginormous thrusters on the back. You can also attach this giant stern booster on the back of fuel tanks that allows it to travel long distances. But today I'm just going to focus on the mobile suit itself. Obviously, it's got this beam. This is like a high-power beam machine gun, so it's capable of super high rate of fire. Obviously, beam weapons. So it's a pretty formidable mobile suit. And it just looks really cool. There's really nothing else in the Universal Century quite like the Gerbera. It's definitely a very unique design. So eventually, of course, Bandai had to reuse the mold to make the Gundam Build Fighter version of the Gerbera Tetra. And then we also have Gerbera Tetra in the rollout color with a Gundam head, pseudo Gundam head actually, as a model kit. So they, I think they reused this mold 3 times. But either way, this is still very nice. I prefer the monoeye. I would never get the one with the Gundam face. So, all right. The one thing I don't like about this kit is that it doesn't really have any decals. So basically, you have to source decals from either buy like water slide decals and then, just put them wherever you think looks good. So basically, that's what I did. I put on some Anaheim Electronic decals, some warning labels and stuff like that to make it look better. Because as is, on its own, it looks very, very plain. I mean, the panel lining isn't really going to bring out all the detail on this kit. Alright, so anyway, let's go over some details here. If you want to see the full review about this kit, you can check out my HGUC playlist, so I'll put the link to the original review in the video description. Let's go ahead and take a look at this giant beam machine gun right here. yeah, I think this is what's called B machine gun. So you can see, it's really cool. There's really no other weapons in the Universal Sentry that look like this. You know, later on they have like bigger B machine guns from Char's counterattack, but this one still looked the best. I mean, honestly, this thing just looks super awesome. It's a very unique design compared to the other machine guns from later series. And the reason for that is because this thing looks very sci-fi, while the other machine guns from other series like Char's Counterattack, Gundam Unicorn, they look like something from the modern era, the modern 19th, 20th century or 21st century, stuff like that. It looks like, it's like a repurposed, customized version of a World War II weapon. So, yeah, this is definitely super sci-fi and super nice. Okay, so that's the weapon. And yeah, sometimes the hand will sit kind of loose in the polycaps inside the arms, so just be aware of that. The shoulders are actually very unique. So basically you got the specialized joint right here that houses the arm and the this armor section right here. This is a very nice design. So the thruster can go up and down, and the fact that this is like a separate piece, it actually doesn't really hinder the articulation for the arm. The arm can go underneath this part. So if you want to undersling the machine gun, you can. It's still a little tricky, but you can do it without too much problem like that. So that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. Now originally when I got this kit, I thought I was gonna have a lot of difficulties like posing this kit with a gun. But after messing around with it this time around, I figured out there's quite a few ways you can pose with the machine gun. I mean, you can pose it like this. This is perfectly fine. You can move the arm all the way out like that, and then pose it with the machine gun in front of the armor like that. That looks very nice too. So yeah, at first I originally thought this thing was going to be very limited in terms of articulation, but it's not. It's actually very nice. Now we do have some issues with the forearms. As you can see, there's a giant seam line right here, and when you put a waterside decal on this kit, sometimes it will split the decal in half. As you can see right here, the decal is already starting to split. So that's a little bit problematic. The best thing you can do in this situation is do a seam line fix. Basically, just super glue the two parts together and then sand everything together, and it should be fine. Painting it would help, but yeah, you can get away without having to paint it. Yeah, all right. So there we go. There is the. I think I'm not gonna go over the articulation on this kit because if you want to see the whole detail, you can always check out the original review. I do have some issues with this thruster parts on the back consistently coming off. So this thing, you're probably better off gluing this in. And wow, I just discovered a huge nub here that I need to clean up. But either way, it's a very nice kit. You can see it's got double jointed knee. However, it's a little bit hindered by that. The fact that the legs are just gigantic. It really doesn't need to be, it really doesn't need to have a double jointed knee, since this thing is usually displayed on the stand. So there we go. Hey, at least it's got universal joints. Yeah, it's got universal joints for the hip, so that's pretty decent. And then we got the thigh cut right there. I wish it just have comes with more decals or stickers. That way look more unique. Again, the monoeye cannot be articulated, so it's just a photo sticker in there. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. And you can do, you won't be doing a lot of stuff with this kit, but at least you can pose it. Stuff like that. And put it on action base and have it look pretty cool. Anyway, I think that is pretty much it for the Gabera Tetra. Let me know what you guys think about this kit, and as always, thanks for watching.